Medgar Evers' home. The civil rights movement in Mississippi began July 2nd, 1946, and endured to the country seat of the Newton Country, where Medgar Evers led a small group of World War II veterans to the county house to vote in the first general election after the war. He and others in the group served the country in combat in Europe and wanted the civil rights to vote, but were turned away by a mob of angry white men. It was at that time Theodore G. Bilbo was re-elected to the third term in U.S. Senate and expressed that the best way to keep blacks from voting in the election was to visit them the night before. By 1959, Rose R. Burnett was elected governor of the state of Mississippi by vowing to keep public schools segregated and maintain segregation itself in the state of Mississippi. I'm at River Home here at 2332 Margaret W. Drive, which is the location of the home of the late, great Medgar Evers. Evers was the first field secretary for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, was also a prominent civil rights activist and organizer that was assassinated right here in the driveway of his home in 1963. In May 20th, 1963, Mr. Evers gave a very calm televised speech stating that the National Association for Advancement of Colored People is allies, young racial and social justice in Mississippi. Mr. Evers also expressed his televised speech just as good friends of his name, James Medgar, who was also an organizer of the sit-in, demonstration, and boycotts in Jackson. The blacks in Mississippi are determined to replace the old ways with more desirable ones. 3 weeks later, Medgar Evers was killed by Brian D. Beckwith after returning home from a meeting at New Jerusalem Baptist Church. Mr. Evers pulled into his driveway, got out of his car. Beckwith was hiding in the bushes across the street, where he shot Mr. Evers in the back with a rifle. Medgar Evers' wife, Marilyn, heard the gunshots, ran outside and found her husband in a pool of blood. Mr. Evers was taken to the University Hospital, where he later died June 12, 1963. This concludes my African American Studies project. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to learn more, come visit. Thank you.
That I wanna be.